Any and all content provided by me contains my own speculative opinion on the market. As such, this content should not be used to make trading or investment decisions. The market is extremely volatile, and the decisions you make should be based on your own due diligence. If you should make a trade or investment decision based off the speculative content that we provide, this disclaimer legally relinquishes me from any and all responsibility. Past market performance is not indicative of future market results. Trading in any market is extremely risky, and you should conduct your own research and analysis prior to making trading or investing decisions.
And welcome back, everybody. Happy Wednesday night / early Thursday morning. This is the Blackfire Technical Analysis channel. Welcome. How are you? I hope everyone is well. I am vastly excited today as we have a couple of interesting topics to cover within the grand scheme of the overall market. And yeah, short intro. I think I'm going to go ahead and just get right down to business. Like and subscribe. Hit that little bell. Helps the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for being here. If you are here, it is vastly appreciated and has not gone unnoticed. And without further ado, let's carry on and get deep and get nasty and get dirty with this beautiful TA. All right, here we go. We're going to start with NASDAQ, as usual, as always. And what do we got? Continuation off that bounce off the L21 on yesterday's candle closure. Test that all-time high resistance. Man, does that TA mumbo-jumbo bullshit work or what, man? Because holy hot damn. We got follow-through on that little signal. The general analysis is still the same. So long as we are between these two horizontals here, the support being about 14,009 and the resistance being the all-time high, right around 15,130. I'm still looking for confirmation on new all-time highs. Again, as I said before, this market is vastly bullish, and as long as we're above that 21 exponential here, I have no reason to think otherwise. And if we do see a candle closure above the all-time high resistance, I'll look for extension to the 1.272, right around 15,570, right? Or not 570, 15,470, excuse me. Overtime, right? It is a little bit of a short extension here, but this would be the overall extension that I'm looking for upon confirmation of this region here being confirmed as resistance again. For me to be confident on that signal, I need to see a breakthrough and then a second open and closure or a back test and again a second closure above that region to be confirmed as a legitimate support before looking for the move up to the 1.272. However, that condition has not been met, although I do believe that we are close to seeing that play out to come to fruition here within NASDAQ's market here. Looking at stochastics, continuation back into the bullish critical zone. Love that read. Still a strong tell that the bulls do have control even after this momentum breakdown here, bouncing generally off the neutral zone here, but continuing on to the bullish critical zone. Likely, if we see extension to new all-time highs, we'll see that exponential grow and penetrate into the bullish critical zone as well. I love the market right now. It's vastly bullish. And the 21 exponential here, as I was saying the other day, perfectly lined up with this support. So I do look at this as a pretty critical level as far as looking for future potential downtrends is concerned, in my opinion. Again, basing everything off of this very simple strategy, it makes everything a lot easier for me to understand. I don't have all these confusing signals here. It gives me more confidence in my own analysis and my own trading abilities. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as we see price action remain above that yellow 21, above this critical level right here, I'm not going to be convinced that we're going to be seeing any downside momentum whatsoever, again, until proven otherwise. But if we do get that condition met where we break the yellow 21, again, I want to see the break followed by one open and closure below. That will be the signal that I'm looking for continuation all the way down to this region here around 14,600. Am I confident that that's likely to come? No, I'm actually confident that we're gonna likely see extension to new all-time highs. Again, this market is fucking insane. We'll leave that one there. We'll go ahead and move on to SPY futures here. This one's still consolidating. RSI is definitely indicative of that. Although RSI is giving a pretty critical signal in my opinion here, But again, we don't see any levels being broken. Consolidation is consolidation until the top side resistance is broken or the bottom side support is broken. And we do see the yellow 21 exponential here moving closer and closer to this region here. And again, this just all entails that this area right now, for my perspective, is a critical zone as far as looking for upside momentum. If we do see an open and closure below the yellow 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking for a target here. Actually, let's go ahead and nope. Let's go ahead and mark that off. If I can find my freaking horizontal, tripping, boom. That'll be that'll be my first target to the downside if we see an open and closure below the 21. Again, I take this strategy very, very seriously. It is a very easy strategy to to follow. That's how I'm looking at it. I mean, all three of these markets are more or less the same, still within the range here, still consolidating more or less, and until either the top side of the range breaks out or the bottom side of the range breaks out, I'm just going to continue to look at this as consolidation. But if we do see a break above this region here, the all-time high at 44.20, I will look for extension to the 1.272, right around 45.30. Give or take a few bucks, and that one's a little bit further of an extension. So maybe seeing price action over a couple of weeks go to that target wouldn't be out of the question here. And as always, anytime we see extension targets being met, I'm always going to be looking for pullbacks. Either as reversal, a little bit of sell-off, profit taking, or potential higher lows in formation. But looking at the RSI, I want to get a little deeper into that. Right now, we got the exponential acting as resistance right now, and the exponential has been forced to a negative slope. We do see a little bit of a break below the bullish control zone here, right through the bottom side. That's not lining up with any break of any critical signals just yet. So that's something to be a little bit cautious of to the downside. If we were to see that play out in fruition, that would be a pretty juicy signal. However, stochastics telling me a different story here with a little bit of a cross back up. Again, seeing some of that coiling action starting to form out in the stochastics while we're deep in the bullish critical zone here. I have no freaking reason to be bearish on anything that looks like this right now. I'm actually just going to be looking for more consolidation and potential continuation to the upside once we see the top side resistances break and confirm as support. Moving on to Dow Jones. Ooh, we got a break of the yellow 21 here on Dow Jones. Is this going to be the first one to break to the downside? Maybe. Right now, what I'm looking for is confirmation. This is the time for me to look for confirmation and a confirmation signal. If we do get another open and closure below the yellow 21 exponential, would be a perfect signal, in my opinion, for a trade. RSI. Giving you a decent signal as well. More to the point, I would more rather be looking for a signal below the 50 read. That would be more of a critical signal, in my opinion, for a position. But I play that 21 exponential strategy tooth and nail. I'm going to be sticking to that strategy and formulating plans around it until I'm vastly profitable. So I'm going to be sticking with that strategy, and this could be a little bit of a warning shot fire with that exponential break, forcing it back to a negative slope here. Definitely a tell of waning momentum, while stochastics here is taking a little bit of a dive. Still in the bullish critical zone, so not too concerning for the bullish perspective, in my opinion. But again, that 80 read is a critical read, in my opinion. Any kind of stochastics momentum break below that region, I would be looking at that read as a pretty good sell signal from my perspective. Again, in correlation, in confluence with price action extending to the downside. But for now, we do have our first break of the yellow 21 exponential. I will be coming into tomorrow looking for continuation and open and closure below that region. It doesn't have to happen. We could easily recover and still remain in this consolidation range. However, this is a little bit of a warning shot being fired here. Let's go ahead and line it up. Yeah, that is a closure below the 21 here. So if we do get confirmation below, I will look at that as a short sell signal. Likely play a couple of stocks related to Dow Jones here to the downside. It doesn't have to be long term, but typically how I play the 21 is open and closure below. I open a short position and I won't close that position until we see an open and closure back above the yellow 21, hopefully in the profit, right? And that's kind of how I'm looking at Dow Jones. We could see a bounce off the support. If we do see a bounce off the support, obviously the target is the top side resistance at 33,160. Any break above 33,160, the 1.272 is my next extension target for Dow Jones here, right around 36,200, give or take a few bucks, and that would be a longer term extension target from my perspective here, based off the overall formation. And for now, maybe a little bit, maybe we see the strategy here for Dow Jones play out, and I'm kind of curious to see how the other markets react as a result if we do get the confirmation closure below the yellow 21, right? I want to see one more open and closure below before I'm confident in taking any positions. Looking for downside momentum, and I'm curious as how the other markets would react as a result. So kind of interesting here, definitely interesting here. Go ahead and move on to Dixie. I'm curious as what is Dixie doing? What is Mrs. Dixie doing? Ooh, okay. Price action pump up, testing the yellow 21 exponential once again. We do see the yellow 21 exponential starting to flatline a little bit, so maybe this is the point where we confirm a low. Yeah, that's the low. This is the low right here. So this low in correlation to this low is a higher low. Well, this isn't even. Yeah, it's been confirmed as a low. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3 low. We got an uptrend. This is still an uptrend in my opinion. We don't have any. Other lower highs here in this tiny formation, but from a macro perspective here, we do have rising bottoms here. So there is a little bit of excitement in my opinion for Dixie here. But again, I'm not going to get extremely excited until we get the break of the yellow 21 exponential and then followed by an open and closure above the yellow 21 exponential. But we do have a decent signal from a stochastics perspective back above that critical zone here. This alone could be a signal. And now we do have a rising trend in formation on stochastics. I don't take 2 points as seriously, but 2 points is enough for me to go off of from a validity standpoint. So we do have a little bit of a trend in formation with rising bottoms forming on stochastics, rising bottoms forming on price action. Let's see what RSI is telling us. Rising bottoms here on RSI. With that RSI read breaking back above the 50, I would be more comfortable with this being a little bit of a trading signal. With that broken signal breaking back above the exponential, forcing it to a positive slope. Give me 1 second as I take some water. 10 minutes of talking. Boy, oh boy. That's the kind of signal I'm looking for stochastics. For me to have a little bit more confidence on any kind of confidence of price action continuing onwards and upwards. I do want to see the exponential broken in confluence with the 50 being broken, right? So I do want to see a little bit of continuation and a closure above the all 21 would be a very decent signal, right? From an aggressive standpoint, that is a tradable signal in my opinion. But from a more conservative standpoint, I want to see confirmation, right? I want to wait for the second candle to open and close above there. That doesn't necessarily mean we won't pull back and test it, but again, even with a pullback and test, I still want to see that confirmation candle above the L21 before I'm confident looking for more upside targets here. If we do. Damn it, too much water. If we do see a closure above the 21 exponential here with an open and closure, next target's going to be somewhere around here, in my opinion. I don't know. Oh, well, we actually do have targets to consider here. Is this a top? Yeah, that's a top. We're going to mark that off. Boom. That would be my first target here with any kind of candle closure above the 21 exponential. And laying out a couple more levels here, level by level, would give me confidence if we do see these levels here broken to the upside. If we get past this region here, I have no reason not to think that we won't be looking for extension. But again, I'm still looking for this critical read here to be taken out on a daily candle closure basis. I want to see daily candle closures back above this swing high here before I'm confident, before I'm gung-ho bullish on the US dollar index here. As again, big downtrend that we've been playing out for quite some time, and in my opinion, it is still confirmed a downtrend until proven otherwise. We did have a little bit of an uptrend in formation, but from a macro perspective, not an uptrend at all whatsoever until we print new highs and confirm this region as support and see continuation onwards and upwards. Upon that condition being met, I will be absolutely gung-ho bullish, looking for targets to the upside, and I'll start marking off levels to the upside as well. But for now, what does RSI say? Oh, we already looked at RSI. Yeah, we already looked at RSI and stochastics. So, yeah, that's where I'll leave Dixie here. We'll go ahead and move on. Let's see what the Hall of Fame is doing again. I think it's coming down, right? Yeah, coming down indeed. Ooh, see, now we're getting close to a little bit of a buy target from my perspective here. Again, I'm just trying to average down. I'm just trying to buy as many of these shares as humanly possible, as cheap as possible. I love this price action right now. Looking at the stochastics, again, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for momentum to be weak in the bearish critical zone here, and we are seeing vast evidence of that. Yes, the exponential is still strengthening. However, we saw stochastics curl over real quickly here with the continuation break to the downside. Candle closure below this region. I will be looking for a little bit of a bounce, to be quite honest with you. Maybe come back up. Test this and confirm it as new tentative resistance, and if we do get that signal here, this box is going to be my next target, somewhere around $2.58. And if we do see the 258 region break, again, back test, confirmation, and then the bottom side of the box is going to be my overall target, somewhere around $2 even. Not looking good. Not looking good. A little bit of a top here, another lower high. This is definitely a downtrend here, and that 21 exponential acting as resistance. Very well. Very well. Very, very, very beautiful signals to add the short positions if you so choose to do so. Yeah, this one's not looking too hot. It's not looking too hot. But again, it's a young stock. I still think this one has a lot of potential in the long term, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bullish right freaking now. Price action is expected to be choppy with a new asset here. But given the NFL and how big the NFL is, once they complete the project, maybe we see a nice nasty bull run to the upside, very profitable bull run to the upside. But for now, continuation down is definitely my main disposition on this one. Once again, seeing the RSI bounce up and reject that negatively sloped exponential, continuing lower just to new lows, barely to new lows here. Yeah, barely to new lows here, and I'm going to be looking for extension to the downside as a result. Looking real beat up from an RSI perspective here. Yeah, disposition is down for the Hall of Fame. We'll go ahead and move on. Let's look at MMAT. Down, down, down. Looking at stochastics start to curl over, looking like it wants to reject the bottom side of the bullish control zone. It doesn't seem to want to escape this critical zone here from the bearish perspective. Definitely very bearish indeed for MMAT. I'm going to be looking for downside extension upon a confirmation of this new level here being resistance, right? Maybe see a little bit of a pump up, and then boom, down to the next target, right down at $2.70 is going to be the target for MMAT here, and lots of divergence here, lots of strength to the downside, lots of momentum to the downside. Down. This one looks like it wants to die. Not too much outside of that unless we see a recovery back above this region at 3.17. If we do see that condition met here, I will look for consolidation to continue playing at least until we break the top side of the range, right around $3.78. But even then, I'm not going to be looking at any major signals until we see any kind of candle closures back above the yellow 21 exponential here. Again, that's just based off of the strategy that I've picked to trade off of. Not looking good, MMAT. AMC, definitely not looking good. Definitely not looking good. Finally breaking that box. Finally breaking the box to the downside. I will be looking for a little bit of a pump up coming in, maybe even into tomorrow here to test this as tentative resistance. But this is a very, very big signal, in my opinion, for extension all the way down to this region here at about roughly $15 here. Looking at the RSI. A little bit of waning momentum to the downside, but that candle closure really I don't know how we got this uptick here with continuation to the downside. I don't know what that means, but momentum is down. Momentum is definitely down. We've been using this exponential here as resistance for quite some time now, and we haven't stopped doing so yet, right? The trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and I do see trend continuation as my main disposition for this one. Stochastics giving you a really decent read here with a rejection at the top side of the bearish control zone, failing to really escape it. Nice little pump above it, and then a little bit of a bounce, and then nope, just kidding, fail. I think that's perfectly aligned with this region here, consolidating, trying to test the ES1 exponential here and failing to close candles above it. This region here acting as heavy resistance and forcing price action back to the downside. I have no reason not to think that this won't be our next target medium term. Next couple of weeks, I wouldn't be shocked at all to see 1485 be the next target for AMC. I am not bullish on this. I gotta get off of those stupid bullshit groups on Facebook. Man, Wall Street Bets is some of the people in there are trippy as hell, still begging for a short squeeze when obviously the short squeeze has already happened. If you can't tell just by looking at a chart that the short squeeze has already happened, man, maybe this isn't the profession for you, but obviously the short squeeze already happened, and that is definitely done for now, in my opinion. Long term, same thing. Long term testing the actually looking to potentially close below the ES1 exponential on the weekly. Any candle closure below that region would be perfectly aligned with my daily analysis, with the next target long term being like $15 or something. AMC is definitely topped out, in my opinion. I do believe. I'm not bullish. I am not bullish on this at all. Extremely long term. Like I said, there is some hope. Our last higher low was right here, so technically we could see boom, this region act as a macro higher low before continuation. Again, I don't think AMC is long term finished. I think it's short to medium term finished. I just get a couple of chuckles every day when I see why did AMC dump, and I don't go for reasons as to why something did what it did. I follow the technicals. I do what the chart tells me to do, and that's how I make my profits on trades here. So very, very critical reads here. Beautiful read. If we do confirm this region as new tentative resistance here, I might even open up some positions to the downside myself, mitigating my risk off at this point here alone. And as long as we remain below the ES1 exponential, I have no reason to believe that price action is going to come up to the, to the bullish perspective. Again, I could be proven, I could be proven otherwise, but me being proven otherwise just tells me that I have another signal to trade. So, and that signal being, an open and closure above the ES1 exponential. So that's kind of how I'm looking at that one. Let's see, what else do I have? BTC USD. The thing about this one today, and I hate to go against my indicator. I hate to do it, but we got a bullish engulfing candlestick closure off the ES1. This is a fucking low. I don't know why the RSI didn't print this as a low. It actually printed as rejection of the negatively sloped exponential. And, maybe it's not the brightest decision to go against my RSI here, but price action is right. Price action here isn't wrong. This is a bullish engulfing candlestick. This is a low. This is definitely a higher low. I think we have an uptrend, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have an uptrend here. I don't know why RSI didn't call that out. It's definitely indicative of lack of momentum here from a bullish perspective. This could easily be a trap, but the fact that we didn't print here a low arrow like this one is a little concerning, to be quite honest with you. If I wasn't using RSI, I would definitely be saying, yeah, this is a fucking low. This is definitely a low, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. You guys tell me what you think. What do you guys think? Think this is a low printing on price action? To be quite honest with you, closing above the wick high of yesterday's candle here. Well, let's actually get the accurate reading. 39,970 spot zero. Any candle closure above there definitely flags this region as a low. Because I was watching this candlestick actively today, and a 4.15% pump up would have confirmed this as a low, but I think it closed at like 4.12%, and that negated the low call. What? 0.03% negated this as a low? I think it's a low. again, if I wasn't using RSI, if I wasn't using Caretaker's RSI here, then I would blindly call this a low just off of price action alone. I know we have waning momentum. Stochastics is still coming to the downside, not looking healthy. Momentum oscillators aren't the picture of health and fitness, in my opinion. I do want to look for extension at the very least above the wick high of yesterday's candle. If we do close above the wick high of yesterday's candle, a low call will definitely appear on the RSI, and it will be confirmed. I took the risk. I took the position because I think this is a low. I'm looking for continuation on this one, at the very least to this resistance here at 40,600. And overall, if this does confirm as a higher low, again, this will be the first uptrend we have seen since May 2020 here. This little section here was an uptrend until boom, capitulation to the downside, followed by this consolidation period, this arranging down, and this fake out here. And this is the first big boom that we've seen reacting off the lows since that point. So, I'm sticking with the 21 exponential strategy on this one as well. Again, before changing my my own strategies and theories and so on and so forth, a lot of indicators were on my chart here, and I was basically dumbstruck by looking at this. And looking at this region here, I didn't wait for confirmation. I took a short trade and got fucking stomped out real quick. If I would have used the 21 exponential moving average strategy, this is just a signal that tells me it's not time to get out. So I actually waited for this price action to move to the 21 exponential, and I took a trade off the 21 exponential here. Looking at a little bit of green right now, but haven't seen my trade go into any take profit territory yet. But more or less, as long as price action remains above the 21 exponential, I have no reason to think that this is going to come to the downside until proven otherwise. This is the major zone that I'm going to be paying attention to here. Any candle closure below 36.7. Right, 36.7, yeah, we'll just call it 36.700 here on a daily candle closing basis. I will look for a back test and confirmation as resistance before extending targets, to soft regions here. But overall, I would look at this as a little bit of a trap. But again, price action, candlestick formations take absolute precedence over every other indicator. And what the candlestick formation is telling me is that this is a fucking low. This is a bullish engulfing candlestick here, bouncing off the 21 exponential. Closing above, above the wick high, engulfing this entire candlestick here, and I don't know why this didn't confirm as a low here on RSI, but I do believe that this is a low, and I will be looking for extension as a result until proven otherwise. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. I'm very excited that we have a potential uptrend in formation. I will be more confident if we do see extension past this resistance here, because again, the bottom arrow here will be signaled if we do get that confirmed, and I will be looking for extension. Medium term, we will have an uptrend medium term. Extension up to the deeper 40,000s, maybe even the low 50,000s would not be out of the question in my opinion for this asset. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Bitcoin, everybody. I have one request today, just one, TMBR, Timber, and I think that will wrap it up. Timber Pharmaceuticals consolidating, definitely consolidating right now, putting in a little bit of a range. Boom, right here. Let's take a look. Rejecting the 21 exponential. It's a downtrend, man. To be quite honest with you, downtrend is a downtrend. The trend is your friend until the end, and we saw price action pump up and reject the 21 exponential 1, 2, 3, followed by follow through on today's candle closure here. I am going to be looking for extension to this low and possibly even new lows coming into the next few days, maybe in the next week here. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Downside price action with rising momentum. Don't know what to take of that, but this could be a decent buy signal. But again, I'm not going to be convinced until I see an open and closure above that 21 exponential, and until that condition is met, I'm going to be looking for downside extension. It's still consolidating, but RSI is still consolidating within the bearish neutral zone here from an RSI perspective. Yes, we have a rising exponential positive slope, bounce off the bearish control zone, but we do have bearish divergence that has played out. I do believe that bearish divergence has played out to its fullest, but I want to see how price action reacts over the next few days. If we do recover above the 21 exponential, we might have an uptrend. No, No, there's no lows here. Nope, that's wrong. No, we won't have an uptrend until we get a higher low. Maybe, maybe we see a higher low print here, and then higher highs print above the 21 exponential. But again, until that signal is confirmed, I'm bearish. I am absolutely bearish on this asset here. I am not looking for any kind of extension to the upside long term, at least until we see price action closing above the 21 exponential here. So take it with a grain of salt, man. I think this one's coming down. I think this one's getting beaten to the dirt. It doesn't look healthy, and until proven otherwise, that's where I'm going to leave Timber Pharmaceuticals. So that's going to wrap it up, everybody. Kept it real short today, 30 minutes. Not too bad. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. Help the YouTube algorithm. Help the YouTube algorithm. And that'll do it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being here. Your support is vastly appreciated. Help us grow. If you guys have any friends, family members that are traders or are interested in learning how to trade, bring them into the channel. I would love to have their support. And yeah, that'll be it for today, everybody. And until next time, stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy.